Hello everyone and thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be watching the Division A final of the 2016 Stone Cold Curling League. This final match pits the number 1 seed Finder Sweepers against number 2 seed Drawing a Blank. As you can see, we have multi-camera coverage of the match this evening. Let's take a few minutes to see how the teams got to the final. Finder Sweepers started this season as Broomheads and got off to a rough start. In round 1 of pool play, they finished with an 0-2 record and begin round 2 in Division B. Midway through round 2, they became Finder Sweepers and they had a strong second round. They finished with a 4-1 record atop the standings. They qualified for promotion to Division A along with Legion of Broom. Round 3 was even more successful than round 2. They finished round 3 undefeated to clinch top spot in the Division A playoffs. Drawing a Blank had a 2-0 record in round 1 to qualify for Division A. They also had a solid round 2, finishing in second place with a 4-1 record. In round 3, they again finished second with a 3-2 record and qualified for the 1 versus 2 playoff game in Division A. These teams met in round 1 of the playoffs, resulting in a 5-2 victory for Drawing a Blank. This evened the season rivalry at 1 win each. Finder Sweepers dropped to the semifinal and scored a commanding win over the Stonecutters 8-1 to qualify for this final match. Let's skip ahead to third stones here. Drawing a Blank is trying to draw into the house and sit 2. And the stone is not quite deep enough and leaves an opportunity for a double. So Finder Sweepers attempts the double but comes up just short. The house remains this way until skip stones. Finder Sweeper successfully removes a guard that was put in place by Drawing a Blank. So final stone for Drawing a Blank is to replace the guard. And that was done successfully. So the plan for Finder Sweepers is to raise the blue guard and remove the blue stone to sit 1, or you could raise the blue guard to raise the yellow stone for 1. But it just misses. And that results in a steal of 1 for Drawing a Blank. So in the second end, let's jump to third stones again. And the plan here is to draw around inside to sit behind cover. But plan B is to raise the yellow back, which they do. So third stone for Drawing a Blank will be to guard the raise of the yellow. And it stops in the right spot. So coming to skip stones now. Drawing a Blank is trying to draw in behind the cover, but it just rubs the stone in front and is a little heavy. So this leaves a draw for 1 for Finder Sweepers. This stone is also heavy, resulting in a steal of 2 for Drawing a Blank. So here in the third end, we'll jump to third stones. Finder Sweepers is trying to draw around the cover to sit in the house for 1. And a perfect draw to bite a bit of the button. Drawing a Blank peels the guard, and then Finder Sweepers throws another stone right in the forefoot. So this leaves a double opportunity for Drawing a Blank. The Drawing a Blank Sweepers give it all they got to get it by the guard, to get 1, but do not get the double. This leaves an open hit for Finder Sweepers to sit 2. So for the final stone, Drawing a Blank is going to draw 1 inside to try to cut down on the scoring area. But the stone wrecks on the guard to sit out in front. And this leaves a draw to the house for 3 for finder sweepers. And with everyone scrubbing away, they get it by the guard and take 3. In the fourth end, we'll start with first stones. Drawing a blank has the hammer and are coming into the house to try to sit in front of the finder sweeper stone. Finder sweepers is going to throw a guard out front to try to limit drawing a blank to not be able to get any stones into the house. It's a little heavy and rubs off, but finder sweepers is sitting 2. Drawing a blank is throwing for the double takeout, but the stone's a little light and only 1 stone gets removed. Finder sweepers is drawing a second stone into the house. A little heavy, pushes their stone back to the 12-foot. Drawing a blank is going to try the hit and roll to sit behind cover and sit 2 stones. Stones on the outside, and they manage to get a double takeout and keep the shooter nibbling on the back. Third stones now, and finder sweeper is looking to remove the blue stone, which they do and hang around. Drawing a blank is now drawing down to remove the yellow stone and roll behind cover. Skip stones now, and drawing a blank is drawing into sit 2. Although the stones are not quite lined up as they wanted, leaving a potential double for finder sweepers. Really hard scrub, but doesn't quite get it out, which leaves drawing a blank with a draw for a possible 3. The stone stops at the edge of the 4-foot for a score of 3 in the end to go up 6-3. We'll pick up action in the 5th with third stones. Drawing a blank is attempting to draw around into the house to sit 2, but the stone's a little outside and instead raises their stone back for 2. Finder sweepers decides to try to come to the port for a double, but they're just on the outside and raises the blue back into the 4-foot. Drawing a blank decides to guard their 2 stones in the 4-foot. This leaves finder sweepers with a difficult raise of the blue to try to remove some stones from play. They do remove 1, but are still faced with 2 blue behind cover. Drawing a blank decides to replace the guard. However, they're way outside and end up coming around the yellow to sit on the edge of the 8-foot. So finder sweepers decides to draw around the outside to try to get their 1, but their stone comes up short, and drawing a blank steals 2. Here in the 6th end, we'll start with lead stones. First stone for finder sweepers. Back of the 4-foot. Drawing a blank threw up an accidental guard. Their attempt to peel the guard, they drew into the house again. So Finder Sweepers brought a second stone into the 4-foot. Drawing a blank again attempts to peel the guard, however the stone's outside, and removes one Finder Sweeper stone. And drawing a blank here with two Finder Sweeper stones in the back, manages to double takeout and roll behind cover to sit 2. Finder Sweepers now is going to draw into the pocket, which they do successfully. Third stone now to drive the yellow Finder Sweeper's rock out the back. Not quite all the way. A Finder Sweeper is going to draw into the pocket. They rub off the front blue and do sit shot stone. Now drawing a blank is attempting to pick the Finder Sweeper stone out, and they do without jamming. Now Finder Sweepers is going to draw back into the pocket. And they sit right on top of the button for shot. Final drawing a blank stone. Push the yellow out the back, which they do successfully. Final stone for Finder Sweepers. Trying to draw in for a piece of the button for 1, but it's a little heavy. And drawing a blank wins the game 8-3 to be Division A champions of the 2016 Stone Cold Curling League.